Hi everyone. So in this video, I am going to talk more about YouTube. So you see our YouTube suggestions floating around on Twitter, and we tell you to limit your devices, make sure you log into your account. Okay, that's number one. But limit your devices because what YouTube does is they track your IP address. So in this video, I am going to try to explain YT IP limits a little bit more. Okay. So IP limit, what does it mean? In case you didn't know, IP stands for Internet Protocol. So IP address is Internet Protocol address, and we just call it IP. Right. So first of all, common questions we get is how many streams of a music video or an audio song file we can get in an hour on YouTube and YouTube Music. That really depends on the length of that music video or audio file. For example, a 3-minute video like Butter can get up to like 7 views per hour per IP address. A longer MV like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which is 6 minutes long, you can get up to about 4 views per hour per IP. So that really depends on the length of the music video. Note that music video and audio files are counted separately in YouTube and YouTube Music. So if you're streaming the Butter music video and then the Butter original version audio file, followed by the Cooler remix music video, followed by the Cooler remix audio file, followed by the Butter instrumental, all 5 of these are counted. That's 5 streams towards the original version of Butter for the Billboard charts. That's both Billboard US and the 2 global Billboard charts. So let's get into explaining this IP limit. So let's say you have one IP address, and this is going to be, I'm going to call it your home IP address. Okay. And you have 3 accounts that are signed into this home internet address. It can be a combination of YouTube regular, YouTube music, any YouTube subscription that is signed into one IP address. For the sake of explaining, I am going to use a 1-hour streaming scenario. So let's say in 1 hour, this first account, account A, does the streaming on their YT music account. Account B uses regular YT. This is their streaming profile. And account C also uses YT, and this is what they stream. For this demonstration, we're going to look at Black Swan as the focus music video. Okay, so these shows 3 different scenarios of 3 different accounts streaming Black Swan somewhere during this 1-hour period. All 3 scenarios are fine. Everyone has a different streaming style. Some like more focused streaming, some like more casual type streaming. It's all fine as long as you're streaming. This video is just trying to explain what that IP limit means. So we're going to look at Black Swan, and we're going to look at how many IP views the Black Swan MV is going to get in this 1 hour when all 3 of these accounts are streaming from the same IP address. As I explained earlier, how many views you can get in an hour for an MV really depends on the length of the MV. So for this explanation, I'm just going to say 5 just to make it easier to explain. But like I said, depending on the length of the MV, you can get anywhere between 4 to 7 views per MV. So for Black Swan, we're going to say 5. So this is also listed in the order that each account streams for simplicity of explanation here. All right, so with question is, what gets counted for Black Swan in this 1-hour example due to IP limits? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those first 5 streams will get counted towards this one IP address. These here with the X, these are not going to get counted. And when you see YT delete views, that's because of these excess streams coming from a single IP address. Okay. There are other things that can cause your streams, your views to be deleted, but the biggest thing that we found with YouTube is excessive streams coming from a single IP address. So a common question we get is, what can I do to get more of my views counted? Well, several things. If you have cellular data, you can put one of your accounts on cellular data. Tongue twister for me there. Okay. So in this case, example here, you have account A and account B from the home, streaming from the home IP address. So their first 5 views of Black Swan here is going to get counted in this 1 hour. On account C, we've moved it to cellular data, so the 3 views for Black Swan gets counted. Now, important to note that everything else that gets streamed on these accounts here, they do get counted as well. Okay, so you do get so for account A here, you do get a stream for the Fire MV Big Hit channel, Fire MV 1DK channel, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. These are all counted towards those respective music videos. I'm just using Black Swan here as the focus video to show you how that IP limit um, works. Okay, so for the home address, you have 5 views for Black Swan getting counted in this first hour using cellular data, which is a different IP address. You get these 3 views for Black Swan added as well. Other questions we get is YouTube and YouTube Music on the same account. Another one of our videos, I mentioned that if you sign up for YouTube Premium subscription, you get both YouTube Regular and YouTube Music under the same account. So this is a scenario where you have the same account, account A, using both YouTube Regular and YouTube Music. They're streaming from the same IP address. Again, we're looking at a 1 hour block here. So the first 5 streams get counted. Okay. After that, these other ones, there should be an X right here. These other 4 here are not going to get counted because you've hit your IP address limit. Okay, so what can you do? You have one account, you have access to YouTube Regular and YouTube Music on that account. What can you do? Well, if you have one home IP address on different devices, you can use YouTube Regular to stream the music videos, and you can use YouTube Music to stream the audio files. Okay. As a reminder, IP limit is per file type, and since I said MV and audio are different files, those will be counted separately in terms of YouTube. In terms of what goes to the chart for, say, Billboard, for example, all these for Black Swan and all these audio files all get counted towards Billboard charts. So other questions. YouTube Music is not available in my country. What do I do? Use YouTube Regular. If you can, set up one account using your home IP address. Set up a second account using a second different account using cellular data. Okay. And you get all your streams there to count. So another question, I have only YouTube. YouTube Music is not available. I have only one device and one IP address. What do I do? Well, here's an example. One IP address, one account. You can stream the music video using two fillers at least. Two fillers. 2 to 3 is a recommendation, or 5 minutes in between rewatches. And then you can add in the audio files or an instrumental file as your filler. And that means more streams for Black Swan from the music video and the audio files get added to the Billboard charts. So back in 2020, Billboard released an article about how they formulate their global charts. This article is now under Billboard Pro, which means you have to have a paid subscription to view it, but it's available there on the internet. I want to point out two things from the article. So, um, so YouTube is one of those streaming services, along with Apple, Spotify, Tidal, and several others, that are counted towards the Billboard charts. So YouTube is just as important as Apple, as Spotify. It weighs the same. Also, across all streaming platforms, official only streams, okay, of audio and video, music videos service are counted. So what does that mean? Reaction videos. Those streams are not counted. It has to be an official audio or music video for the streams to count. And then this section here. Premium streams are weighted 4.5 times more than free streams. This is why we encourage premium streams, encourage you to sign up for premium trials, because trials are premium streams as well. And this is across all streaming platforms. All free streams, regardless of platform, are weighted the same. All premium streams, regardless of platform, is weighted the same. And overall, premium streams are weighted about 4.5 times more than free streams when it comes to charting purposes on Billboard, both US and the global charts. Another question we often get is about quality. Um, our suggestion is just leave it on auto. Okay, auto will pull whatever the best quality it is based on how strong your internet is at that time. So leave it at auto. It doesn't have to be a particular setting. What YouTube needs is engagement. So engagement in YouTube. So engagement in YouTube is writing your own comment or liking someone else's comment, liking the music video. Um, our recommendation is do that once every 1 to 2 hours. Okay. Um, you don't need to spam. Okay, but you do need to engage more than once per day. So the rule of thumbs is leave a comment, like a comment every 1 to 2 hours. I know during comeback, others like to spam the comments of the music video. I'll leave them alone. Leave them alone. They are engaging. Thank you for feeding the YouTube algorithm. Leave them alone. Do your thing. Watch the music videos. Write your own comments. Like someone else's comment every 1 to 2 hours. So, thank you for watching, and until next time.